Oh, okay. We're talking about ambition today. Actually, we're talking about ambition today. But it's more than just ambition. It is ambition that is aligned with your values and what matters most to you, right? Have I seen myself as being ambitious? People say I am. I'm like, I don't really know if I have that. I don't think it's really, I wouldn't really call myself ambitious. I mean, I'm a Virgo. We're always doing something. So, but there are times where people can be doing a lot. You know how they say they're doing the most, but gaining nothing? There is that. So I want to focus on today about aligning your ambition with what matters most to you. Here's the question for today. Today's question is, have you ever wondered if you're hustling toward something that doesn't even feel right anymore? Ooh, girl. Now, let us talk about that. Okay, I have a couple examples of that. I have one from the previous life, then I have one for the now life, this chapter. In my previous life, I don't know. I never wanted to be like a manager. Like I said, I never wanted to be a manager. Didn't want to, only because the examples I had seen, and I had great managers, so let me just make sure I'm clear there. But the examples I had seen, they were not such, it felt like I had to, and it wasn't like, it felt as if I had to babysit grown-ass people. That is not Gwendolyn. And then when I got the position, first supervisor, then like a manager, I realized I don't have to do what everybody else is doing. I don't have to do what everyone else is doing. So I made it clear when I got my team how I worked and what I saw my job as. My job as manager to them was not to manage them. They are whole human beings. We had a thing at the Container Store where we said we hire great people. And so I told the team, great people manage themselves. If I have to manage you, we got problems. Because you're an adult. Why hire amazing talent if you want to turn around and babysit them all day? Make that make sense. So I was like, I'm not here for that. Gwendolyn's not here for that. I do not operate an adult romper room. That is a no. I said, my job though, I am tasked with growing your career. As long as we're together, that's my task. That's all I have to do for you, is help you get to whatever point you want to get to. That's my job. And so with that, my manager was like, so where do you want to go? Well, I liked being a supervisor. It was good. I had every other weekend off. So I could have like a 3-day weekend. Ooh, that was the best schedule. And then she's like, well, we need you to be a manager to do X, Y, Z. And I was like, wait, what? Because I wrote another job for myself of having a dedicated training team, a dedicated training lab, room. It was amazing. I was like, but that meant being a manager. And I thought, but I did it. And then that was it. There was never want to become a general manager, never want to become a director. It was not there. And I wouldn't even translate. I don't want to do any of that. Like none of it. I'm a salesperson and an educator. I want to be close to being on the phone when necessary. And I want to be able to teach when necessary. And there were times during our major sales periods where they were like, we need somebody to do this. Gwendolyn will do it because you're leading. I am here to help you do whatever you got to do. You need me on the phone, I'll get on the phone. You need me on chat, I'll get on chat. Want me to design, do emails, I got you. I'm a supporter. That's my role. I don't need to manage that. If I'm already the person leading, how do you build more leaders? You get out of the spotlight and put somebody else up there. Like, you go do it. I'm good back here because I can lead from behind. I ain't got to be up there to do that. I can be right here. Lead by example. Get on the phone, answer chat, let people hear your conversation. They're like, is that how she do it? That's not today's discussion. Let me get back to my point. My point is, I didn't really want to do all that other stuff. And so we just stopped hustling. Like, there was the point I was going for all the things. And then I thought, this is no longer serving me. I'm almost done with this career. I'm ready to move on to something else, i.e. a photographer. And now, even as a photographer, I like what I'm doing. I'm still doing it. I love what I'm doing. I wanted to get a degree, a particular degree in photography. But I'm stuck on, do I need it? And do I still want to go for it? It's a nice to have. It's not a need to have. And so the energy and the want for it is slowly going away. It doesn't feel right anymore. Perhaps that's you. Perhaps you're like, okay, I was going for it. And now I'm like, I don't really feel the need to go for it anymore. So yeah, we can all get in those places that we start something and then it changes. Now, I want to stop right here because there's this myth that you got to be grinding for stuff and you have to suffer and you have to have sacrifices in order to succeed. Those are lies. They are filthy, disgusting lies at that. I don't know who are these people? Like, you ever wish you could go back in time and say, what made this person share this with people? That you gotta suffer to succeed. Who says? Like who made that up? Probably somebody who didn't like what they were doing, but whatever. You know, haters gonna hate. I don't know who made that up. You do not have to suffer to succeed. You don't. It ain't even necessary. Yes, I say ain't even. It ain't even necessary. We got to cut some of this out. Understand that at a certain point, yes, our parents, our teachers, other people who had spots of authority gave us some messaging. And then you're on your own. And at that point, you can decide from here on out to do whatever it is your heart desires. Understand what are your values and what are not your values. You don't have to keep doing what everybody else is doing. Because Lord knows I don't do it. Nope. No and no. No. You don't have to suffer to succeed. This whole idea of aligning pain with pleasure. Look, no, it's a myth. It is a myth. Let me give you this other option of how you can run through life. What if you had aligned ambitions, i.e., you are pursuing what lights you up, not what wears you down? Consider, instead of just doing busy scaling, that you are intentional with your scaling. You are looking at your impact versus your effort. What if we did that? What if we operated from a place of joy? We talked about it last time. Designing the work around the life you wish to live. Now, that requires doing some other work to set it up, but it is possible. It can be done. Now, they mentioned that if you do work you enjoy, you never work a day in your life. Those are lies. It's still work. Okay? It's still work. However, that work lights you up. That work matters to you. It's not empty. It matters to you. So why don't we do that? Why don't we go with that versus the busy work that we've been doing? That's what I'm proposing to you. That you don't have to suffer to succeed. You don't have to be out here grinding and hustling and doing all that whatnot. It's not necessary. You can choose something different for yourself. What legacy do you want to leave? If you're focused on putting out good work, making the most impact, putting out work that aligns with your values and dreams and passions. Think about the legacy you're going to leave. Can we stay there for a moment? Can we stay there for like a hot moment? Okay, moment's over. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about growth without grind, the art of aligned ambition. Good afternoon. This is Gwendolyn, G.R. Houston. Jack, you are watching another edition of HouJack DMS Live Learning. We are streaming to LinkedIn and to YouTube. And as I have been saying, if you're on LinkedIn, I am going to invite you right here, right now, to come on down the aisle to YouTube. It's a better experience over here. And if you're on YouTube already, thank you for being here. I would love if you would like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and do that too. But we are continuing our conversation. We have had multiple videos focused on this one thing. If anything, it is about redesigning our life. Defining success for ourselves. Letting go of that hustle culture, reclaiming our time, identifying ourselves beyond achievements, and now we're here. We want to talk about the art of aligned ambition. We want to become more effective versus just doing more, because that's a lot of busy work. We don't want to be part of the busy work community. We don't want to be part of that. We want to be more effective. Let's talk about your goals. Can we start there, please? Let's talk about designing goals you actually want. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, when I said I was going for the photography degree, and now I'm like, it was a goal at one point, but then, like as an educator, we're always looking to learn. We have a thing about being lifelong learners. And that's a great thing, by the way. So if you have stopped learning, please don't. Well, if you're here, then that tells me that you probably want to, okay, whatever. But I thought to myself, do I need this degree? Do I really need it? The same way that once I got to a certain spot in my previous career, I was almost done with that career, right? I was on my way out. I was looking for my replacement. So there was no want to be a director, regional, or otherwise. I didn't want to be GM. I was like, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do any of it. Nope. It wasn't my goal, even though a particular person, not my manager, said it should be. You got me confused. It was not my goal. And I was not about to work on it. Here's the question. Whose dream are you chasing? Ask yourself that. Whose dream are you chasing? Is this your mama's dream, your daddy's dream, society's dream for you? Some person in your life who has some influence, maybe a lot of influence, is it their dream? Because consider it again, as a child, we are getting a lot of our messaging from our parents, community, teachers, other people in spots of authority. And it has a lot of weight. So as a child, we carry that for what? Maybe we're 18, 19, 20 years old. I don't know. But at some point, you're like, wait a minute. I'm not really feeling this. And it feels wonky because you're like, all my life, I've been told this. And now I want to do something different. But my parents are going to be upset. Or my grandmother will be upset. Or so-and-so said that this is the next best thing for society. Like, all the jobs are going to be in the science field. All the jobs are going to be in the tech fields. And whose dream are you chasing? Because if it ain't yours, trust me, it's not going to be the best. You're not going to have that same want, that same fervor if it was your own true passion. It's not going to be there. Not going to be there. Ask yourself at this point, I don't know how old you are. I don't need to know. The dream you're working so hard on, is it yours? That's the question. It's time to do an audit. It's time to look at your existing goals and make sure that they align with your values and your energy. Do they align? Are things still in order? Are they? Now, I have multiple things going on. Like I said, photographer, indie TV show host, coach, digital marketing, like 4 things, but a lot of things going on. How do I keep them all together? I keep them all together. I do. We put down the goals for each individual instance. Each individual instance, as well as my own goals. As well as my own. Check it. Time for an audit. Time to see if your goals, your existing goals, are aligning with your values and your energy. Are they? You may need to reprioritize some things. You may need to go there. And if that's the case, it's okay. Trust, at any point, you can drop something. Like I said, I thought I wanted that degree. I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not so sure that it's actually what I want to do. But I want to tell you this, we cannot build if we don't have some boundaries, rest, and rituals. We got to have that. We got to talk about recovery. It is essential for sustainable success. Let me tell you, Gwendolyn does her tech disconnect twice a year. Twice a year, I disconnect from technology. We have people right now who have PTOs. As a matter of fact, I don't have the numbers. I have to find it for you. I'll put it in the post or somewhere. But American citizens are the worst when it comes to taking vacation. I don't get it. It is called paid time off. Paid. Full screen moment. Hold on. Paid. Not that you're not getting paid for not being here, but that you are paid to not be here, to go get you some rest, to go recover. You're paid. And yet and still, we will find people that will take the time off, but also take the work laptop and do work on vacation. Make it make sense. I would tell my team often, there are no martyrs in retail. There are no martyrs in a lot of things. You believe in, I'm going to be out here hustling and grinding. It's going to earn me some brownie points or a gold star, a ribbon. I don't know. It gives you nothing but gray hair and stress. Time wasted. It gets you that. And if you're on salary and there's no overtime, yeah, it really does. Yeah, no. For someone else's dream? Okay. Sure, why not? Because that's that's worth it. We need to build with boundaries, rest, and rituals. I do a tech disconnect twice a year. I do one in July. I do one in December. So I tell people, if you want these holiday photos, you better get them done September, October, November, because December ain't it. Like, it's done at that point. But there are systems in place, a lot of automation in place that allows me to go out and do that. We got to find things to support our momentum without the burnout. If you're not using automation, and this is a personal thing here, but it's a personal thing from experience. If you're not using automation, you're going to run yourself ragged. There is no need to have technology and access to software to help you be more efficient, and you are doing the same old thing to, again, do what? You want a pat on the back? You want a cookie? Because you're out here grinding? That's not paying. It's not living. It's not living. This whole entire thing is about living your life today. Because all that hustling and grinding to leave all these things here afterwards, it ain't worth it. Missing out on your child's activities, your family events, time for yourself is not worth it. It's not. You don't have to do that though. You can create a system that does not lose momentum and does not create burnout. You can do that. We need a new system. I am telling you right here, right now, that every Sunday I have a Sunday soak. Every Sunday, sometimes I include a little cocktail, a couple of bubbles to go up the bubbles. Sometimes, depending on how I feel. Every Sunday, I get up, I do my workout, and then I'm going to soak. And I will be in the tub until I am wrinkled. It's what I do. It's my ritual. It's my reset day. It's my reset moment. And I get so many ideas. So I do keep the phone close so I can do a quick voice note because the ideas be running. Be like, ooh, okay. Create your rituals. Carve some time out for yourself. Carve it out for yourself. You need it. The body, the brain, the creativity requires it. Slowness isn't lazy. It is clarity in motion. We need clarity. You need a moment to slow down. Now, I'm not going to lie. Again, when I started shifting to this way of living, it felt funny, like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. Resting is doing something. It is an action verb. Resting is doing something. I don't have that problem now. In the beginning, I was like, should I be? And I could, and maybe if I just, sitting still is an action. It's an action. Resting. It's an action. Okay? It's not laziness, people. It is not. We need to rewire our minds. We need some new programming. We need, and I know I'm saying need, but it's okay though. That's part of this whole entire message. We got to rework what's not working. That is the deal. We have to shift our minds to let go of the busy work, doing more to gain the least. We want to become more effective. That's our focus. That's the goal. So here's some homework for you, because I love a little homework. Love a little homework. Yeah. Rewrite one of your goals through the lens of alignment. We talked about writing down your values, your passions, your childhood dreams. Look at that. Now that you've looked at that, you've sat with it, you've let it marinate. Why not rewrite one of your goals through the lens of alignment? You now know what matters to you. Why not do that? Do a little homework. Just start with one. Don't come out here trying to do all the things, all right? Because that's going to burn out. Slow and steady wins the race. As I say, a couch to 1 mile, not a 5K. 5K is 3 of them. So no, a couch to 1 mile. Let's get off the sofa, make a little movement, and then slowly get to doing this on a consistent basis. Take your time with it, but rewrite one of your goals through the lens of alignment. That's the homework. That's your start. So let's talk about some events, shall we? As we wrap this up, we've got Rooted and Rising. This is a new group coaching experience for creators who want to grow without losing themselves. This is all about the art of aligned ambition. If this really speaks to you and you're craving a space to build from that clarity, not chaos, I am creating something just for us. right? It's a new group coaching experience. I invite you all, if the interest is there, if the feeling is there, then scan the QR code to get on the waiting list. Or if you're on YouTube, in the Linktree link is a link to also get on that list, Rooted and Rising. As an ETA of probably August, because September is going to be a funny month, but I'll do it regardless. We also have July 29th, our third edition, our third installment of Lights, Camera, Subscribers. We're talking about growth and engagement. This is also, there's a link to this also in our Linktree link. You can get on there. It is a community YouTube workshop, right? So there's no cost involved. We got all of the geniuses sharing their genius. We can grow and rise and thrive together. You don't have to do it by yourself. Please let that go. Let it go. There are no martyrs in the creative space. Let it go. We can work together, right? Also add to that, we have every Thursday our Each One Teach One, Work and Chill, Work, Connect, and Thrive. We are meeting on the Go Brunch platform in the learning and earning space, and we're in Each One Teach One. So if you are a solopreneur, freelancer, remote worker, and you don't like your coworkers, come hang out with us. It's 1 to 4 every Thursday. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer than that because the topics be topicking. Okay, I just made up a word, but it sounded good at the moment. We go for as long as we go, but we come and go in, we go out, we answer our phone calls, we answer our emails. We are working, but you don't have to work by yourself. It's also a great place to just come and connect with other people. We require community. Good humans require other good humans. So do that. Also, while you are on the Linktree link, you can get on our newsletter. We have monthly tips about selling, growing a career, building a community. It's all there. You can also go to the HouJackDMS.com website, or as I say, go on that Linktree link and get on the newsletter there. Lastly, thank you all for being here. This has been a great series. We're not done. We're not done. This takes time. It takes work. But this is a great start. Start with defining success. Looking for success beyond the hustle and grind culture. Knowing how much is enough for you. How much is enough? What do you really need? What do you really need? Ask that question. Get into that. And then once you figure that out, then you can go to a place of reclaiming your time, putting your energy where it matters. Think about who you are beyond the titles, because that's not who you are. That ain't it. And then your ambition, aligning that ambition with your values and your passion and your dreams. It is possible. I get what society is telling you. Trust. There's another way to live, people. You can design work around the way you want to live. It can be done. Those who say no ain't doing it. We don't have time for them. We don't have time for them. We have no time. With that, I say this. Thank you all for watching. Again, if you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. If you're on LinkedIn, come on over to YouTube. It's a great experience. I'm going to see you all in the next one.